What is going on? My name is Dave and I'm coming at you guys with a brand new LEGO Ninjago video, and in today's video I'm going to be reviewing Ninjago episode 82, Dread on Arrival. So episode 82 has just recently aired in Australia, and I have to say this one is a toughie. There are many good things going for this episode, but after viewing it, I couldn't help but feel a bit underwhelmed from the previous jam-packed episode in the season. I do think it's a good episode, but it slightly underperforms and isn't as good as the episode that came before it. There are a few missed opportunities here and there, and not as much emotional tension as I would have preferred. It actually starts with a very humorous beginning, and there is quite a bit of fan service in this episode, which I really do appreciate. If there's one thing I can commend about this episode, it starts off with a very strong beginning and ends off just as strong, if not stronger. But let's jump into more detail with what was good in the episode and what I really liked. The beginning was actually pretty funny to me, as the ninja are using this gigantic sea monster to get back to the city, and it was pretty nice to see the good old police commissioner back in action. There are actually multiple references to past Ninjago episodes in this one, and the first one that's thrown around is when the commissioner mentions a pirate genie, which is an obvious nod to Nautican. Another thing I really liked was the location of the ritual. The Temple of Resurrection was conveniently located inside the courtyard of the royal palace, and that environment is perfectly suited for that type of event. And it explains how Harumi has become acquainted with this knowledge of resurrection, and you can infer that she spent a lot of time here trying to figure out how to bring back Garmadon. It was pretty nice to see Masako as well, as she finally reappears after a long while of staying out of the spotlight. Although I do have to say it is quite strange seeing her with absolutely no design change. The writer's main argument was to provide some sort of continuity to new fans who come over from the Ninjago movie. However, Masako was technically a character in the film, and seeing no design change to her just weakens the continuity argument. Although I'm not complaining, let's save that topic for another video. I really enjoyed the scene with the police officers engaging in battle with the Sons of Garmadon, and how the ninja were very clever and used that distraction to their advantage. We finally get to see Kai's Katana 7 in this episode, and I think they made good use of it. There are actually some humorous moments with Chopper Maroon and his Mohawk buddy in this episode, and those were welcome additions to lighten up the mood. I'm actually really surprised and pleased at how a children's TV show has captured a complete demonic ritual. That was something that I did not expect at all, but very glad it was included. The ending sequence also served as a surprise to me because that is totally not the way I expected it to end, and I'm glad the episode continued to deceive my expectations. However, with all of this, there are still some things that weren't that great. I feel like there was an immense opportunity that was missed here to build off of the emotional tension that was already set in place in the previous episode. I wanted more of Lloyd and Harumi fighting with each other, and I wanted to find out more about her and what she was doing. I hope dearly that we'll get to find out more in future episodes. One of the biggest things I didn't like was how as soon as the ninja arrive at the scene, they completely ignore Harumi and don't make her a priority at all until a few minutes have gone by. Logically, you'd want to prevent the crazy evil psycho from releasing the crazy evil warlord she's about to release. When I think about how this episode underperforms, I can't really point it out with my finger, but I believe it just has to do with how there certainly was a lot of action, but no substance behind it. There was some sort of tension between Lloyd and yelling out to Harumi to leave his father alone, but not enough to do the trick. Let me explain. The reason why episode 81 was so great was because Lloyd finally put the pieces of the puzzle together, and when he did, Harumi attacked him. And it was the very first time that we got to see Harumi truly engage in combat, and Lloyd was at a significant disadvantage because his heart was broken. You can truly feel the tension in the scene, and the voice actors did a great job of delivering that emotion. In this episode, the only scene that slightly matches that was the ending scene where Lloyd sends off Harumi to presumably a jail. The last thing that I'm going to nitpick about is the wardrobe change with Harumi. I would have liked to see how Harumi changed her appearance. The only explanation we get is she finally took off her mask, but I would have preferred a little transition into her current look. Alright, so let's talk characters. Surprisingly, there really isn't much to talk about Harumi in this one. As always, each episode makes the hatred inside me grow more and more for Harumi, and that's a great job on the writer's part for creating such a distasteful villain. Her appearance change is welcome by me because she previously looked like she didn't belong in the Sons of Garmadon gang with her casual appearance, and this one makes her fit in just fine. As for Lloyd, he serves his purpose in the episode, which isn't substantial at all, but it offers some sort of dynamic tension in the ritual scene. His reunion with his mother is cool, and overall he's used decently in the episode. I did want to touch up on Masako for a bit. I think it's quite interesting to see what they've done with her story, and it makes perfect sense that she was the one who found Baby Wu, and the Sons of Garmadon consequentially captured her as a result. It just makes sense, and she's a nice inclusion for longtime fans. The final character I'm going to discuss is Garmadon, which I know is kind of strange since all we got to see was his arm in the episode. However, the bit of fan service that we get to see with this character being mentioned is awesome. The reference King of Shadows refers back to one of the very first episodes in the pilot episodes of Ninjago, and hearing Mark Oliver's laugh for the first time in a while was great. I can't wait to see him in the next episode. Overall, this episode is pretty good. Although it isn't as good as the previous one, it still holds up and exceeds my expectations. You should definitely see it if you haven't already, as a lot of action takes place and the story is pushed even farther along. I'm going to rate Ninjago episode 82, Dread on Arrival, an 8 out of 10. It's definitely enjoyable and has a lot of core elements that make Sons of Garmadon such a unique season. However, after seeing what this season can truly do, I can't help but feel slightly underwhelmed with this episode, but I know the next one won't disappoint. This concludes my review for Ninjago episode 82. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys did, then please leave a like on the video and subscribe for more LEGO Ninjago videos coming to you guys each and every day, and hit that notification bell so you guys don't miss out on any of my future Ninjago content, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out, guys.